Jerry and Esther had a wonderful experience last month. They went whitewater rafting in Colorado with friends. And as they were driving in the bus, looking out the window of the bus at this raging river, they said to one another, "We must be out of our mind." For this river was really flowing. The water was very high and the river was very fast. It was obvious that going with the flow was the best way of approaching it. As Jerry and Esther got into the stream, they noticed that there were several places in the river where very big boulders, rocks, were rooted to the bottom of the stream. In other words, they weren't going with the flow. But because the flow of the river was so strong, those boulders that were stationary in the stream were taking quite a beating. In fact, such a beating that their river guide was very careful to point out to them, you don't want to get your raft up against one of those rocks. Because if you get your raft up against one of those rocks with this kind of a raging flow, it will beat you up. And we want you to understand that that's what happens to you sometimes when you get hold of something and you cling to the floor of the river, a river that, by the way, you are responsible for the speed of. Do you get that? Do you know that every time your contrasting life experience causes you to know what you don't want, even if you don't put words to it, you know what you do want, and that's what causes this river to flow faster and faster and faster. So the longer you live in your physical body, the more you precisely identify what you want and the more you add to this flow. This is the way the contrast works. So you get the river moving faster and faster and faster. But if you're pointed in opposition, then the river is beating up on you. And anytime you are pointed in opposition, that's what negative emotion is. In the moment that you release it, you stop paddling upstream. And do you know what happens when you stop paddling upstream? Your boat turns and starts going downstream. You don't have to paddle downstream. You don't even have to paddle your turn. Just stop paddling upstream. And the relief that you will feel in the turning in the stream is everything. In fact, that is what we want you to focus your powerful now upon always. Am I pointed this way or this way in the stream? Am I paddling against what I've been asking for, or am I letting the stream carry me toward what I am asking for? Can you imagine Jerry and Esther putting their canoe in the stream, and as they're setting in, saying, wait a minute, and then they ask the river guide, how far will we flow in this river? Oh, about 10 miles, he will say. Well, I would like to get back in the truck and drive 10 miles back downstream, and then I would like to put my boat in just a few feet from where I'm going to take it out. Seems more efficient, doesn't it? In other words, why not start out right where I want to end up? And we say, what's the fun of that? That seems ridiculous when you talk about that river ride, doesn't it? And yet, it's the way so many of you behave relative to things you want. You say, I'm over here and I want to be over there. And then you say, and because I'm over here instead of over there, I'm going to be miserable as long as I'm over here. And we say, your misery has you pointed upstream and won't let you go over there. And you say, oh, well, the stream is strong enough, so I'll just fight against the current, and then I'll just let it be hard to get over there. And we say, why do that? Remember the rewards, you say. They'll write books about me if I paddle upstream. If I dig a big, deep hole and then climb out of it, everyone applauds. But if I just stand there, not in a hole, no one even notices me. And so we want you to understand that if you will begin to relax and not fight against the current by talking about what's wrong, by complaining about what's wrong, by pointing out that you're not where you want to be, if you'll stop doing that, if you'll try to be just the slightest bit more hopeful or optimistic, or at least not complaining, that you will stop that resistance and the stream will turn you and you will feel relief. And it's the relief factor that we want you to begin focusing upon, because if through the day you are relaxing with the intention of giving yourself relief, you are bit by bit releasing more and more layers of resistance, and you are allowing the stream to carry you more in the direction of what you are wanting. And as you begin to really allow yourself to go with the flow, the speed of the stream without resistance is exhilarating. The speed of the stream with resistance is excruciating. So there are two factors always involved in the way you feel. How fast your stream is flowing, which is totally what you've caused to happen, and what you're doing with your thoughts right now in relationship to the stream.